A lot of times we put pressure on ourselves to be perfect and not messy in life and in relationships, not allowing ourselves to fall apart to then be able to put ourselves back together. And we can't allow the alchemy to happen as long as we seek that perfection. Never admitting rock bottom and just avoiding with friends or trips or boys or girls or whatever. And those pursuits either way won't feel as good when you haven't alchemized what must be. And all your experience will feel much better overall when you have taken the time to actually feel instead of avoiding and numbing yourself. And in a lot of ways your subconscious works in symbols, so you can't imagine your pain or your anxiety as an actual object in your body, and you can imagine actually throwing that pain, that object, out of your body as you're feeling it. And you can also imagine powerful healing light going through you where the pain is or where you're stiff, and you can imagine that healing light being connected to the ultimate cosmos energy. And you can take deep belly breaths and hit the nerve in your stomach. When you push out your belly enough, that will hit the nerve that makes you get out of a threatening nervous system, the parasympathetic, and you can get out of the fight or flight from your body feeling safe enough to calm down. Because if you just numb and distract, the feeling will come back in another form or another time. And when you feel like everything is just falling apart, you can see that as yourself just splitting open to pieces. And the fact that you couldn't possibly perceive yourself if you were always in one piece. When you're in different pieces, you can actually perceive your consciousness, because you can see it in different perspectives and outside of yourself, and you can realize things that you might have been avoiding to know about other people or avoiding to understand about yourself. What you have denied to understand yourself and to understand life better can come up, and you can see that you can play all parts. You can play the villain, the victim, and the hero in different scenarios, and you can let go of your ego or victim mentality when you can see yourself from different perspectives, from being broken into pieces from your mistakes or other people's mistakes. And when you have the perspective of relating to others and the world better, when you then put yourself back together, you in a way can quantum leap, because you understand your consciousness better, and you can create a new reality, a new destiny for yourself. And a lot of times we don't allow ourselves to be that nitty and gritty, to actually feel the feelings, because we judge ourselves for it and to not be perfect and put together. You might judge yourself just for feeling negative emotions, or you might be judging yourself for feeling negative emotions about something that some other people might not think is bad enough to care about. But if you think like that, you cannot use your rock bottom to your benefit, which is always an option. And when you allow yourself to feel your worst pain, you have felt through it, maybe you have written about it or talked about it, then you can do something like the symbol I mentioned before, that you feel an actual object in your body being removed and thrown far away, and maybe being stomped on or driven over by a big truck or something. And if you have memories that might bring you pain, you shouldn't neglect them or throw them away, but you could have a symbol like putting them in a box in your mind with a lock on it, putting them all in there and locking the lock, and then having the control of looking at it when you feel like it. You deciding when you want to feel that pain and when you want to think about it, and not letting those memories show up in your mind throughout your day and ruining your day. You're having control over them instead of them controlling you. And a lot of emotions we haven't processed because we didn't repair well after the actual event. And we could have repaired well by something as simple as being validated for the experience we had and knowing that it was not our fault. As kids, if we have a bad experience or something we perceived as a bad experience and we don't get validated for not being our fault, we will think something is wrong with us and create a lot of shame. And as kids, we can be aware that there are bad people out there that can hurt us, but if we don't feel validated or protected from them by our parents, that is what will make us not recover from it. And if your parents growing up did not talk about their emotions or always pretend that everything was okay, then you will probably feel shame that something is wrong with you if you have thoughts that are not all happy clappy or whatever. You will do as your parents do, and if your parents didn't apologize after a fight or saying that it wasn't your fault when they lost their temper or something, then you will internalize that as something being wrong with you. Those situations create a lot of our coping techniques, but if your parents explain themselves after, that could just have brought you more emotional intelligence and understanding of the human complexity. So if you felt safe enough as a child to express when something felt wrong, and your parent was emotionally mature enough to validate you, that would have created a healthy repair system for you. Because bad things will always happen, but how you handle it after is what will matter to your mental health and to how you treat others. If someone neglects their own emotions, they will neglect yours as well. It's not personal, but it's how they perceive they were treated, and it's the amount of emotional safety they have in their own nervous system. You want to feel safe enough to express your hurt and to feel the pain, alchemizing it and creating resilience, knowing real recovery and productive recovery, to see the bigger picture of how your pain evolves you even when you're in it without neglecting it, to see as you're in it like, whoa, this could really be a big turning point for me, and it's probably exactly what I need right now to shed this old skin, to be able to get to a better destiny, the transformation process.